Hey guys, welcome to Supreme Tennis, and before we get into this video, I just want to apologize for not having uploaded in quite some time, but I'm back on it and can't wait to share the content I've been putting together for you. Of course, and hope to make you all better tennis players, which is my aim. Now, as always, we really appreciate you tuning in, and we'd be grateful if you could subscribe if you haven't already, and maybe even click that notification bell to be one of the first to receive some of our coaching through this platform and, hopefully gain that edge over your opponents. Now, in this video here, we are very lucky to have Edin, a former professional tennis player, demonstrate a few different tactical plays that you can incorporate into your match play. So let's get into the first drill. So drill number one, and it's about creating space. It's going to be 2 shots per set. Option A is to open the court with the forehand angle and then hit that second ball into the space. Option B is to use that forehand angle again, but then wrong foot your opponent by hitting back behind them. The first set of orange cones here is where Edin's going to hit his first shot to open up the court, and once he creates that space, he wants to hit towards the second set of orange cones here on the other side. The other option he has on his second shot is to hit towards the yellow cones, and that would be an attempt to wrong foot his opponent. And whilst we were doing this drill, I was just saying to Edin to take the pace off of the first shot, to really find that sharp angle. If you hit it too hard, if you hit it too flat, you're going to really struggle to find that spot on the court, and you're going to struggle to open the court up. So he's trying to maximize topspin and really force his opponent outside of that tram line. His aim was to get the ball to cross the tram line before it crossed the baseline. Now I've just paused it here to share a quick tip, and although Edin has finished on the other side of his body, some players do like to finish on the same side of their body to find those sharp angles. There is no right or wrong way, it's just down to personal preference, so play around and experiment with both to find out what works best for you. Drill number 2 here, and this is about using your strength, and it's 3 to 4 shots per set. Option A, you're going to keep going cross court with that inside out forehand, even with that finishing ball. Option B, with the finishing shot, you can choose to go inside in, and that's the slightly riskier option of the two. I do highly recommend that you practice this drill, and just watching it here, it does look very simple, it looks very basic, but do not underestimate how effective it can be. A quick tip here when running around your backhand is to move in a sort of circular motion, and this is going to help you get more weight into the shot. Try and avoid moving sideways in a straight line when you do choose to run around your backhand, because in that situation you're going to struggle to get that same sort of power. And this drill is all about using your strength, and for most of us that is of course our forehand. So why not put ourselves in a dominant position by using our forehand as often as possible to dictate and control the point. I'd also recommend that you hit the majority of these shots inside out, as cross court is always the safer option, and then another added benefit is that you're hitting to your opponent's backhand, which is generally their weaker side. And of course that will only apply if you are playing a right-handed player, and the majority of people you play are going to be right-handed. Drill number 3 here is about dealing with the wide ball, and it's around 6 to 8 shots per set. Option A is to go high and deep down the middle. Option B is to rip it down the line. Okay, so just to go through this one in a bit more detail, the D created by the yellow cones is where Edin will hit the majority of his shots high and deep to stay in the rally. The more aggressive option is to turn the point around and rip it down the line, and probably the more satisfying of the two options for sure. So this first option here I have spoken about in previous videos, and as you can see, Edin is trying to get a good amount of height, and that's firstly to get the ball deep and make it that much tougher on his opponent, and then also to allow him a bit of extra recovery time to get back in the rally. And the reason I've placed the D in the middle of the court and not in one of the corners is to take away the angles that your opponent can exploit with their next shot. So going into the corners will open up that shot for them down the line. It will also open up the shot for them for the sharp angle. Now, going down the middle kind of takes away those angles, and they don't really have those aggressive options. The other option that we mentioned is, of course, that big forehand down the line, and this is a shot that you're going to really commit to, and your aim is to sort of get a winner from what seems to be quite a defensive position. So you're really turning the point around here, and it's not a shot that you would go for very often when pulled wide, as it carries a lot more risk in comparison to option A, but you know, it's a definite crowd pleaser when you do pull it off. Just a quick tip when going for the winner down the line, and that is to cut off the angle when moving towards the ball, and this will help you not only generate more power, but it also takes time away from your opponent. Drill number 4 here, we're going to call it heavy slice, and it's 3 shots per set. Option A is to hit 2 offensive slice backhands followed by an aggressive ground stroke. Option B is to hit an offensive slice followed by a slice approach and then a put away volley. This drill here is all about using the slice to attack, to be aggressive, and many only really use it to defend. Now if you can hit the slice well, if you can keep it low, if you can get it shooting through the court, you can use it to set up the point in your favor. And here Edin is using it to set up either the big ground stroke or the easy put away volley. Too often I see players hitting their slice short and high, and if that's the result that you're getting with your slice, you're going to get punished very easily. Now the reason that ball fluffs up high, the reason it drops short, is usually because you're trying to do too much with the slice. You're trying to cut the ball too thin, and your racket face is too open. Here you can see Edin's racket face is not open. It's almost completely square when at contact, and this is going to help him get a little more bite through the court. It's going to help him to keep that slice low. I did do a previous video on the proper technique behind the slice backhand, and I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. Now for the approach option, make sure that whenever you do come in that you make your split step before you play the volley. I see a lot of recreational and advanced players miss easy put away volleys because they rush in and they don't set their feet before they play the shot. So just make sure that you are doing your split step before you play the volley. Just for the last one here, we're going to throw in a serve drill, and it's 3 shots per set. The tactic is to use the slice serve to create space and then hit the forehand or backhand into the opposite side of the court, followed by a put away volley, again into the space. The final drill here that Edin's practicing is very similar to the first one in this video, where we aim to create space to build the point. Only this time he's attempting to do that with the serve. And we always hear about the serve being one of the most important shots in tennis, if not the most important. The serve offers you a good opportunity to control the point by playing to your strengths and your opponent's weaknesses. And here we look at the use of the slice serve to create gaps on the court to set up that big forehand into the space. Now with the slice serve, I just want to talk a little about the ball toss. I will do a whole video on the correct technique, the proper technique behind the slice serve, but I'll just touch on the ball toss a little bit here in this video. And try to start off by tossing a little wider than usual to your right, around 1 o'clock, towards 11 o'clock if you're a lefty. This just helps you to wrap around the ball easier and get that slice effect. So for the slice serve, your toss wants to be a little bit wider than usual. As you can see here, we then did the same drill on the ad side, only this time using the kick serve. Probably one of the most challenging shots in tennis, but one of the most rewarding ones. Now, you may have heard coaches ask you to toss the ball behind you for a topspin serve. And again, I will do a whole video breaking down the proper technique for this shot. But just back to this specific tip with the ball toss. Do not throw the ball behind you towards the back fence. Throw it behind you towards the side fence. A lot of people get confused by this. So just to clarify, behind you means that the ball is going from right to left, following the path of the baseline. This just helps you to brush up the back of the ball more effectively and get that kick. Anyway guys, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate you watching this content. And I just want to give a big shout out to Edin and thank him for being part of this video. We'll definitely look to get him involved in some more content. He's a really good player, and it'll be good to actually see him doing these drills or doing these tactics and these strategies in a real live point situation. So maybe we'll try and plan that for you guys. I think that'd be a very entertaining video. But yeah, don't forget to comment if you have any questions. We get back to 100% of our comments. And feel free to subscribe, throw a thumbs up if you like the content. And yeah, that's it guys. I hope to see you in the next video.